Hello. Hi. Happy Wednesday. I'm glad you guys are here. I forgot my glasses. So funny story before we get going. Um, I've got a contact, I think, stuck in this eye. So when I don't have my glasses on, I can see really well out of this eye and not out of this eye. When I put my glasses on, I can see really well out of this eye and not this eye. So I'm in the midst of a conundrum today, just a little bit. So plus our internet was wacky at home. So here I am in our temporary offices. Let me give you a grand tour. Pretty exciting stuff, huh? Pretty exciting. So these are temporary. If you are in the Dallas area, we are going to be moving our studios to Addison Circle, and we invite you to join us. We're going to have six or seven extra offices, some desk space, community space. It's going to be like a co-working space. And I think we're going to open it up to architects and builders too. Just had this thought this morning, so that we can have some networking. So if you're in Dallas, send me a DM if you want to know more information. We're building it out as we speak. I get the keys any minute now. So yeah, me neither. I am assuming that's you, Hallie. You are a Facebook user again. So for those of you who are joining us here live on Facebook, there is a little duck head above my head if you are on a desktop, and you can give StreamYard access to your profile so I can see your name. So I'm streaming through StreamYard into Facebook, and it's showing up over here. Like, I know it's Hallie Agostinelli is showing up in the comment section, but over here I just see Facebook user. So if you're here, give access. Because today we're talking about you are bigger than your fears. So if you're wondering who I am, my name is Michelle Lynn, and I am the owner, CEO of ML Interiors Group, which is a studio here in Dallas. And because that has been so systemized, thank you, Hallie, for dropping that in. Because it's become so systemized, it blesses me with the time that I can spend here with y'all, training on interior design business and things along that line. So I have a paid program called the Interior Design Business Bakery. It's a year-long mentorship and a podcast. So if you're new around here, that's what's going on. If you're not new around here, welcome back and thanks for coming. Okay, so today we're talking about you are bigger than your fears. And I want to start with that because, y'all, being your own business owner is not for the weak of heart. So if you are wondering if you should own a business, you need to know that you have to have mental fortitude. You have to be able to pick yourself up from the literal ground sometimes, and have a conversation with yourself that everything's going to work out. Okay. So your fears, let me also tell you, your fears, you need to acknowledge them. Okay. They're probably real. They feel incredibly real, but there's a difference between having fear of what's real and being fearful. Okay. There are real challenges when you own your own business. There are real challenges when you're running a 6-figure, 7-figure business. There are real challenges when you're running a 4 and 5-figure business. Okay. What it comes down to is smaller dollars, smaller problems, bigger dollars, bigger problems. But overall, you need to take a look at whether you, like I said, whether you're fearful or whether you acknowledge your fears and you move past them. Okay. Because what I really want to bring home today is that, sorry, my throat just got a little kink. What I really want to bring home today is that your fears are oftentimes your mind trying to protect you. Okay. So whatever it was, like 20,000 years ago, when we had the very first humans on Earth, the minds that we have, the minds that we were given, okay, are there to protect us. They were always watching out for our safety, like our literal physical safety. So our mind is always looking for what's wrong. This software is ancient. It's ancient, y'all, and it hasn't gotten an upgrade, a 2.0 mind in a millennia. Okay. I think I said 20,000 years. Millennia is a little bit longer, but you know what I mean. It hasn't gotten a recent update. So your mind is always looking to protect you. That's always looking for what's wrong. And it's always giving you, not always, but oftentimes, more often than not, giving you a fearful or an awareness of what could go wrong. Now the difference is do you live there? Okay. Remember that you have the choice to choose your thoughts or to accept which thoughts are actually real. So your fears as you start to run this business, your fears of, should I hire an employee? Oh my God, you know what? I'm going to be responsible for somebody. I can't hire somebody. I have to do it all myself. Like all of these things, like I can't hire an employee because then I'm going to be responsible for taxes and for their livelihood and things along that line. Okay, yeah, it's true. But is that enough to stop you from hiring who you need to hire in order to grow? Okay. Is it a likely fear? Yes. It's realistic. Your ancient brain is accurate. But if your ancient brain starts to tell you these thoughts of, oh, you can't do that because you're not good enough, or because you don't know how to run a business, or because you're going to fail. Okay. Think about that. Sometimes you hear these voices in your head that are telling you that you're going to fail. Okay. Those are just thoughts. That's what I'm talking about. You can choose which thoughts you actually listen to. Okay. You can tell that little thought, no, you are this fear is a thought, and this thought is not me. Okay. You are not your thoughts. Oftentimes we will assign our identity on our thoughts, or we will assign our actions based on our thoughts. And I mean, oftentimes if you're walking across the street and your mind says, hey, watch out, there's a red car about to run you over, you need to listen to your thoughts and get the hell out of the road. But if it's telling you to play small, if it's telling you to be fearful and to not take risks, okay, your mind is going to be risk adverse because it's wanting to watch out for you, and it's wanting to ensure that you don't get hurt. It's wanting to ensure that you are safe. Does that make sense? So when you, and feel free, y'all, go ahead and ask questions in the comment section, or if this resonates with you. Okay. If your mind is telling you to play small, not to take risks, not to step out there, or not to play big, okay, or not to put your face out on the gram, because whatever. As a business owner, you have to recognize that some of those thoughts are not accurate and they are not going to serve you well. So when those fearful thoughts come up, you can say, oh, look, there's a thought, like the little thought bubble. Imagine you've got this little thought bubble. Oh, that's a thought. You're not real. And you can pop that bubble and it goes away. Like it sounds really dorky, but this is the case for your mind and for your operation. So in that respect, if you can acknowledge the fact that you have thoughts, you are not your thoughts, then you can move forward in your business. Okay. Step by step by step. Also keep in mind, y'all, you're not going to just jump in and become a 6-figure interior designer in 30 days. Okay. Well, I'd like to say in a year, the bakery could get you there, but that's something different. You can ask Hallie what that is. So you have to remember that you are not your thoughts. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. I'm so glad that this is resonating with you guys. You shrink back. Yes, I understand that. Your thoughts are telling you to play small. Your thoughts are telling you, don't put yourself out there. Don't be vulnerable. Don't tell your family this is what you're going to do because they don't think it's a real job. Okay. Screw that. Your thoughts are just trying to keep you from getting hurt because your Uncle Albert, says, oh, interior designer's picking out pillows and paints. That's not a real job. Okay. Well, you know what, Uncle Albert? It's because you're not my ideal client. Okay. My ideal client profile is not you. Don't let those thoughts become real. Okay. Don't let them adjust your identity. Sit into who you are and what you were put on this earth to do. And if that's creating spaces that are beautiful and they feel like a hug when the client walks into their home, it's a pretty damn fine job. Okay. It's a pretty damn fine, like, calling that you have. So those thoughts that feel real, those false thoughts that feel like they are you. Okay, you have thoughts, you are not your thoughts. You have fingernails and you are not your fingernails. Okay. So, yeah, you shrink back. You often feel like if you step out and really try to grow, you're not going to be able to handle the workload and your designs will suffer. So I think that's a really good point. And I see you as Facebook user. I cannot address you by name right now, but I will hop over to Facebook here in just a minute and say hello when we're done with this recording. But a lot of it comes down to when you have those fears, and that is a very valid fear, then it's your responsibility as a business owner, as a leader, as a mom, as a friend, like whatever. You go through it and you do all this analysis. So in this particular instance, you can say, okay, that's a valid fear. Okay. What I need to do is I need to be aware of it so that I can move forward and not get stuck, um, because my designs are going to suffer. Why are you taking on too many projects that your design would suffer if that's where you found yourself? Then in that respect, you need to, is it because I have to pay my bills. So therefore I have to have 55 projects going on at any given time in order to get paid enough. Okay. Well, that's a fear that you're not going to get paid enough. That's a fear that you're going to drop the ball with some of your designs. But the underlying problem could very well be, oh, I need to charge more for my design so I don't have to have 55 at any given time. Oh, I need processes in my business. So sometimes these fears are warranted and then you have to address them. So it's along the lines of, imagine it's, midnight and you get lost and you find yourself driving through a scary part of town. Okay. You have to acknowledge your fear is real because you're in a scary part of town. It's midnight and you're lost and you're almost out of gas. Okay. So you have to acknowledge that and then you find the solution. Okay. It's like, oh shit. Okay. What's the solution? Well, I need to pull up my navigation here, or the battery's running low, or something along that line. So you find the solution and then you start implementing it. Okay. Or you're looking for landmarks, or you pull into a well-lit location until you can figure things out. So in business, yes, the fear is there. It's your job to determine, is this a relevant fear, or is this just my ancient brain trying to protect me? It's not real. Okay. If it's your ancient brain saying that if you are, let's see, stepping out and really trying to grow, you're not going to be able to handle the workload and your designs will suffer, then you just acknowledge, yes, I hear you, but I'm not going to hide under my pillow for the rest of my life because that could happen. Okay. You're not going to never drive your car again because you could get lost at midnight, low on gas in a scary part of town. Okay. You're going to be a little bit more cautious. So that's part of, like, when I was building my business, things would come back and bite me on the ass. Absolutely. I was making mistakes left and right. Lord knows I still am. But you learn from it and you move on. Okay. So if you're going to be out in the middle of the night, you're going to make sure you have a full tank of gas. Okay. You're going to make sure that you have your battery charged so that you have good navigation on your phone. So there's these types of details in a business that you are still going to address. Okay. But you have to be fearful in order to be aware to potentially avoid that. Okay. So if you're out driving at midnight and you know that if you make a left, you're going to be in the scary side of town. If you make a right, you don't know where you're going to be, but it's probably not as scary as this. Then you're going to make a right and then you're going to figure out how to get back on track. So I don't know if that analogy carries over, but it's the same thing in business. So when you have a fear, you are bigger than your fears. Okay. You need to stop and you need to acknowledge that's a fear. Is it real? Is it perceived? Am I trying to take that on as my identity? Things along that line. People here need to be educated more about the difference between interior designers, decorators, or styles. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that feedback. Seems like the fear actually serves a purpose, but use it and not be run by it. Yes, oftentimes that is the case. And then in some instances that doesn't serve a purpose because it's just going to nag you and nag you and nag you, and you could be afraid of everything. So you just have to control your mind and determine what you're going to let in and how much of it you're going to let in. So that is my TED Talk today, y'all. Just remember that courage is being afraid and still moving forward. Okay. And again, as a reminder, if you need help in your business, if you need the pricing information, if you need the processes, if you need to know how to navigate your business, how to navigate your workload, how to navigate so that you don't drop the ball with your bank account, or you don't drop the ball with your clients or your designs or anything. That's what I have learned over the past decade or so in business for myself as an interior design business. And that's what I teach. Okay. That is my year-long program. And it takes a year. It does. And we have some people who might extend, some people who take what they need and they hop out, they apply it, and so forth. So if you have questions, if you need help, it's called the Interior Design Business Bakery. I promote it every so often in the Launchpad where you are now, if you're on Facebook. But that's where my heart is right now, because I know how freaking scary it is and how you can be pulled down by your fears, but also how you can use your fears to elevate you. Okay. If you are not moving forward, if you're not growing, you're dying. So thank you, Hallie. She just dropped the content in there. It's not cheap. I'll tell you, it's not cheap at all, but it's designed so that if you get in there and you apply everything, you will make that money back exponentially within the first year. But ideally, you'll make your investment back within the first 3 to 4 months. Okay. So it pays for itself. Plus, you can write it off on your taxes. So this is not a commercial for the Interior Design Business Bakery. This is me telling you that you are bigger than your fears. Do not let them control you. You are bigger than them. You are the boss of your own mind. It's a tool that the Lord gave you so that you can move forward, make good decisions. Okay. Claim it as your identity. You mold it as you want to be. Who do you want to be? And you're going to mold your mind into that. Okay. It's your choice. So have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you guys next week. I think we're back next week. Thank you.